Hello everyone, I'm Professor Geek. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'd like to talk about celebrity tweets, specifically these political tweets that we've been seeing a lot. And since this is a superhero themed channel, we'll be talking a lot about some of the comic book creators and their tweets and whatnot. And I want to come at this from a different perspective, namely from my own as a professor teaching writing. I tell my students that no matter what they write, whether it's a tweet or a school paper or whatever, they need to consider who their audience is and then what their purpose is. And you need to know these two things before you can make any decisions in the writing. Everything that you decide in the actual writing, whether it's a short little tweet or whatever, or a longer piece, a blog or whatever, is going to depend on your answers to those two things. What are my audience? What's my purpose? Different tones and different word choice, language, structures are going to appeal to different audiences and will achieve different purposes in different audiences. If you go into writing anything without a clear notion of what your purpose is and who your audience is, then you end up really with an ineffective mess. And you can look at some of these celebrity tweets as great examples of this. These political tweets are really just emotional venting. And they're sometimes they explicitly state, and sometimes it's just sort of tacitly understood. But they're under the guise of trying to convert people, trying to educate people. They have this platform now, and they're going to use it for what they believe is right, and they're going to try to get the message out about their values, and when they're angry about this, they're going to get that message out too and such. That's not going to convert anybody. You're exhibiting way too much pathos to convince anybody of anything. The purpose then in those tweets is not to convince somebody or to reason with anyone who might not agree with you. The purpose is just to make yourself feel better. It's just an emotional vent. It's no different than a toddler throwing a temper tantrum. You're angry and you want the whole damn world to know about it. And no one's going to agree with you other than the people who already agree with you. Everybody who doesn't agree with you is just pushed farther away. It's the nature of debating. When you're really into hardcore debates, no one really changes their mind. They just become more entrenched in their sides. How do you convince people? How do you reason people? First, you take a big freaking deep breath. You don't go posting about how prayer doesn't change anything, blah, 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 or whatever. You don't go posting personal insults to Donald Trump and his followers. You don't go posting about how men need to shut up with their stories about abuse. They just need to sit quietly and listen. No, what man who has an abuse story and is posting about that, trying to show his vulnerability, is going to read a tweet like that and think, you know what? You're right. No, they're not. The spirit of that tweet, the tone, the whole emotion behind it was antagonistic. It was angry. It was how dare you. No one's going to say, yeah, I need to shut up now. I mean, and if it is anybody, it's a very small amount of people who would do that. Effective writing demands just a little bit of forethought. And it demands a whole lot of checking your emotion. You need to write with emotion. You should be passionate about what you write, but that shouldn't be the driving and determinant factor over everything that you place on the page or on the screen or whatever. And this is the case. So, audience and purpose. And then if you're trying to convince anybody, slow down, calm down, and actually provide an argument. Even in something as small as a tweet and the limited characters that provide, you can still provide a level-headed argument. Or just a calm and rational political tweet. So many celebrities nowadays are just tweeting about all of their political beliefs and going off on all of these things that is completely separate from their work or what they're known for or their art. Now, it's not that just because you're a writer or an actor or whatever, you can't have political beliefs. Of course you can. And their defense is often to say, well, this is my personal Twitter. I'm going to post my work and I'm going to post my opinions and everything. I'm just going to post the whole me. This is my personal Twitter. Well, that's fine. But do you have a Twitter that's just for your art, that's just for your work, to connect with people on that level? If you don't, and many of them don't, then you're doing marketing completely wrong. Because you're isolating people who might be a great fan of your work, might patron your work, and through that might even come around to your side of seeing the world through your philosophies as they organically show themselves through in your work. But you're shutting the door on all of that just so you can not have to worry about two different Twitter accounts and so that you can vent your angry, emotional rants at the same place that you share your work. It just doesn't, that's not marketing, that's not on any level. you are narrowing your fan base. You're not increasing it. If a celebrity absolutely must post about political stuff, then you still should do it in a level-headed manner. I'll give you an example. I've just recently begun following Sean Astin. I've been a fan of his work ever since I was a child, rooting for the Goonies, and ever since, Lord of the Rings and so forth. And then when he did Stranger Things, I was watching that and just loving his work on that series, and thought, I need to, look this guy up and see. Now, I cringed a little bit before I even looked him up, because I thought, okay, he's a celebrity. Most likely he's going to be a super passionate liberal online. That's just the nature of most Hollywood celebrities. Not all, but most. And it's not a partisan thing for me. I mean, my own personal philosophies run very much in the libertarian vein, so I'm used to nobody agreeing with me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if it's a more conservative or more liberal take. I just don't like going to a source for an artist, actor, writer, whatever, because I enjoy their art, and I'm having to hear their politics at the same time. I want some sort of avenue, But anyway, so I looked him up, and he was posting occasionally about this or that political thing, but I haven't sat there and just stalked his Twitter account, so I don't know. But I'm just speaking to what the one or two tweets I saw. This was just the other day after the gubernatorial elections, and how the Democrats really just kind of won the country pretty much in a lot of those key states. And Sean Astin posted a tweet. He said something to the effect of, "My fellow Democrats, let's not be obnoxious about this. Otherwise, Republicans who are on the fence are going to be angry, or they're not going to, want to listen, or they're not, it was a very reasoned and rational tweet. And I appreciated that. If you must tweet politics on the only Twitter you have, the one that people are coming to because they enjoy your art, then at least do it in a level-headed manner. I'm not a Democrat, but I can still appreciate the level-headedness of that tweet. And yeah, that's great. Somebody, of whatever political persuasion wants to not be obnoxious. Man, kudos to that. Big time in this world today. So that's really great. Just calm down. If you want to be effective in any manner, scream into a pillow and then get your keyboard. Get that all out. Stop making yourself look like a toddler. So many incredibly talented writers and artists or editors or actors or what have you just become these Neanderthals once they open that Twitter page and, just start screaming about this or that. And I get it. You feel powerless when the political direction of the country isn't to your liking. And it feels good to stake your claim and make your voice heard. But not in that way. You're only pushing people away. You're not doing anything to even further your cause in the long run. So, just thought I'd put that out there. A little bit of writing 101 knowledge for people who should know better, but they're just so caught up in the emotions of politics, and they let that bleed over and really sully their artistic personas. So, that's my thoughts on that. I'd love to hear some of the examples that you've appreciated on Twitter. People, there's great people like Ethan Van Sciver who just refuses to talk politics, period. Gotta love that. But, even people, so people like that, let me know, or celebrities, writers, artists, whatever, who do write political posts from time to time, but are calm and are rational and non-offensive or insulting about it. So let me know. Let's get a little list going or something. It'd be nice to support these people. So that's all for now. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications when another video is posted. I'm trying to post more often, and that seems to be working out. People are responding well, so I appreciate the support. And until next time, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the superhero stories you love. Thanks for watching.